History doesn't give second chances to men who pick the wrong woman. That's a lesson every man eventually learns, though most learn it when it's already too late. They stand at the grave of their own potential, wondering how the hell they let their kingdom fall without even putting up a fight. And no one's going to warn you about this. Not your mom, not your friends. And society. Well, it benefits from your blindness. But Machiavelli saw it coming. He knew that behind every destroyed man, it wasn't bad luck, or fate, or tragedy, no. It was the wrong woman he foolishly let into his life. The world might sell you dreams about loyalty, love, and the fairy tale ending. But Machiavelli, he whispers the truth. The hard truth? There are only two types of women, beneficial and destructive. That's it, no in between. You're either upgrading your life with her, or you're slowly letting her drain you until there's nothing left. And here's the kicker, the reality is, a lot of women today have figured out how to look like they're beneficial, while secretly being nothing but parasites. Yes, I said it. You can sugarcoat it all you want, but the truth remains. And when you choose wrong, don't be surprised when your life starts burning down around you. This isn't about hate. This isn't some battle cry. It's about strategy. Because like Machiavelli said, those who choose to be deceived will always find someone willing to deceive them. And that person is always going to be the weak man, the one who can't think before he feels. Now, here's the first commandment. Never choose based on appearance alone. Never. She might be the most beautiful woman you've ever laid eyes on. But if her mind is empty, her values are trash, and her loyalty is just up for grabs to whoever offers more, you are not looking at a queen. You're looking at a polished poison? Machiavelli said it best. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. You hearing me? A lot of guys get distracted by beauty and miss the red flags. But the real man, the strategic man, he sees beyond the surface. He watches her patterns, her choices, her loyalty, how she treats people when no one's looking, how she speaks about others behind their backs, how she talks to waiters, to her family, to herself. You can't afford to ignore those signals. You don't just stumble upon a beneficial woman, you select her. You test her, observe her, like a general studying the battlefield. And if you don't, then guess what? You've ignored the warnings. And when things go south, you've got no one to blame but yourself. Machiavelli also said, the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Don't be that fool who waits until it's too late. You don't get to cry about it when the damage is done. And here's your second commandment. Never select a woman who doesn't respect masculine authority. Period. If she sees your strength as a threat rather than a support, leave. If she competes with your leadership instead of complementing it, leave. If she challenges your vision but offers nothing of value, leave. Because a woman who doesn't respect masculine order will turn your life into chaos. This is how kings fall. This is how legacies die. You're not here to save her or fix her. You're here to build. And building requires alignment, not opposition. Machiavelli warned us. Men who fail to secure their power become slaves to the very forces they once tried to tame. You think you can handle her drama? You think love will fix everything? Guess what? It won't. She already knows something you don't. You've chosen her, and now she has the power you handed over to her. Power in a relationship is never something you negotiate. You either have it or you lose it. Most men, desperate for love, give away their power wrapped in words like compromise and understanding. They sound nice, but they're just pretty lies. Machiavelli saw right through that, and he didn't mince words. It is much safer to be feared than loved if you have to choose between the two. If you must choose, choose fear, because love without respect, that's just slavery with a smile. And a man who lets a woman rule him, all in the name of keeping the peace, is nothing more than a puppet king. His kingdom is rotting behind closed doors. Now, if you want to know who she really is, test her boundaries. Tell her no. Watch how she reacts. Cut off her access to your time, money, attention, whatever it takes. Watch her silence. Does she respect your distance? Or does she try to manipulate you back with guilt, tears, or empty promises? You see, women today have been trained by a weak society to believe that men exist to serve their emotional appetites. And most men, desperate for peace, happily get down on their knees and serve. But you're not most men. Not after hearing this. Your third commandment is this: watch how she handles boredom. See, every woman is on her best behavior when she's entertained, showered with gifts, and the attention never stops. But boredom, that's when true character shows. Does she create value in silence? Or does she stir up chaos just to feel something? Does she have the patience to sit still? Or does she ignite petty arguments just to get attention? A woman who can't master her emotions in boredom will destroy you when real challenges arise. You need a woman who brings peace into your life, not a ticking time bomb that explodes the moment things get quiet. Now let's dive into one of the biggest lies you've probably heard all your life: that a high body count doesn't matter, that a woman's past is none of your business, and that if you care, you're just insecure. Machiavelli would laugh at that nonsense. The past isn't irrelevant, it's crucial. A woman who has betrayed people before you, she's not starting fresh with you. She's already sharpening her knife while you're not paying attention. Her past is a reflection of her future. It's like a blueprint for how she'll treat you. So, don't ignore it. You should be watching her history closely, because that's your first red flag. Does she have a string of broken relationships? Is there a trail of dishonesty? If so, she's not likely to change with you. Here's your fourth commandment: never invest in a woman whose values you do not share. You're a man with a vision. You've got something you're working toward. A man with a vision doesn't marry lust. A man with a mission aligns with his mission. If she mocks your discipline, if she rolls her eyes at your ambition, if she cares more about social media likes than your legacy, leave her. I don't care how good she looks in a dress. I don't care how sweet she sounds when she's asking for something. If her values don't line up with yours, she will drain you. The wrong woman will cost you your destiny, and no amount of pleasure is worth burying your potential 6 feet under. And now we get to the harshest commandment of all, the one no man wants to hear, but every man needs to obey. If she does not fear losing you, she will never truly value you. You know the type, the woman who believes you'll always be there, no matter what. No matter how much she disrespects you, no matter how much she stops adding value to your life, that woman will slowly start to despise you. Why? Because anything that costs nothing is worth nothing. Machiavelli got this down to a science. He said, men should be either caressed or crushed. And guess what? Women will do the same thing. If she doesn't fear losing you, she will crush you. But if she fears losing you, she will rise to meet you. The man who is feared isn't cruel. He's respected because his absence means something. If you want to know who you really are to her, stop being so available. Stop rewarding bad behavior with more of your attention. Stop begging for scraps when you should be commanding loyalty. The man who's willing to walk away holds the power, always has, always will. It's easy to talk about these truths. It's a lot harder to live them, because to live them, you have to kill the fool inside you. That romantic fool, the desperate fool, the boy who still thinks love alone will change her. You've been trained to believe that your loyalty will win her over, that your devotion will make her stay. It won't. This is the reason so many men are broken today, not because of women, but because of their own delusions about them. Machiavelli was merciless with men who refused to face reality. Men are driven by two impulses, love or fear, and make no mistake about it. Fear holds more power than love. Always has, always will. The woman you can't walk away from, she owns you, and she knows it. Watch how a woman treats the man she knows she could lose. Her tone softens, her loyalty sharpens, her chaos shrinks. But the man who's constantly available, constantly at her beck and call, she grows colder, she grows bolder. She will test him not because she's evil, but because female nature doesn't trust what it doesn't respect. And here's the truth. A man who refuses to protect his value is not a man worth following. You can't expect her to value you if you don't value yourself. So let me make it crystal clear. The most dangerous woman in your life is the one who sees you as an emotional provider, but not as a leader. You think she loves you because she vents to you, because she cries on your shoulder, because she tells you her fears. But here's the hard truth. Does she follow your guidance? Does she submit to your leadership? Does she rise when you raise the bar? If not, you're not her king. You're her emotional trash can, and she will use you until she finds a man she actually respects. That might sound harsh, but it's the truth. And if it stings, good. Let it burn, because that pain you're feeling is the only thing that will wake you up. You see, most men try to negotiate respect. They try to earn it by doing more. by bending over backward, by shrinking themselves. Fools, Machiavelli warned us, one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. And if you've been deceiving yourself, it's time to stop. Respect is never negotiated, it's commanded. And if you have to beg for it, you've already lost it. So how do you command respect? By living as though you're willing to lose her at any moment. The man who fears loss becomes her servant. But the man who embraces loss, he becomes her obsession. She will test you. She will push you. She will try to see if you're all talk, no action. You must bite back. You must walk away if needed, not to punish her, but to remind her that you are a man who values himself more than he fears her absence. Let's talk about something that gets overlooked by most men. Watch her relationship with other men. I'm not talking about just her exes or male friends. Pay attention to how she speaks about men in general. Does she admire masculine strength? Or does she mock it? Does she speak highly of her father, her brothers, her mentors? Or does she carry bitterness and resentment toward men who've led before you? Here's the truth you need to hear. A woman who secretly despises men will never fully submit to you. She might play the part for a while, acting sweet and affectionate, but eventually her bitterness will come through. It always does. When it does, you'll realize that you didn't just marry a woman, you married a competitor. Not a companion, but someone who's only in it for herself. And that's when things go south. That's when she'll start to resent your strength, your ambition, your leadership, and you'll find yourself trapped in a battle for dominance in your own life. Machiavelli wrote, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." What does that mean? It means her words mean nothing if her actions don't align. You can't marry potential. You can't invest in promises. You must invest in her patterns. If her life before you was chaos, don't fool yourself into thinking it will magically turn into peace just because you're in the picture. If she was lazy before, she's going to stay lazy. If she was undisciplined, she'll stay undisciplined. And you're not the exception to the rule. If you think you are, then you're just another fool. Let me tell you why most men ignore all of this. It's because, deep down, you want to believe you're the one who can change her. You think your love is different? You think your patience will finally crack the code? You think that if you stay long enough, she'll wake up one day and realize you're the prize. But she won't. You're not her father. You're not her therapist. You're not her God. You're a man, and the man's time is his life. Every minute you waste trying to reform a woman who refuses to change is a minute you rob from your future. Machiavelli said it best, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Every second you delay cutting ties with the wrong woman, you're living as that fool. Here's something no one will tell you in any motivational video. No woman on this earth is your purpose. Not a single one. Your purpose is your mission, your discipline, your kingdom. A woman is either an asset to that purpose, or she's a liability. Most men get this equation completely upside down. They make the woman the purpose. They make her the center of their world, the reason they wake up in the morning. But when she senses that, she loses all respect for him. Why? Because women do not trust men who orbit them. Women trust men who orbit nothing but their mission. This is why the same woman who disrespects one man will worship another. The difference isn't the woman. The difference is the man's frame. The man who knows what he stands for, who knows what he's building, who's laser-focused on his mission. He's the one who commands respect. He's the one she'll rise to meet. So here's the next brutal lesson you need to accept. Never choose a woman who cannot thrive in your absence. How do you know who she really is? Step back. Watch how she lives without you. Does she collapse into chaos when you're not around? Or does she rise in discipline? The woman who requires constant validation, constant attention, constant babysitting, she will be your death. But the woman who multiplies in your absence, who holds the line even when you're not watching, that is the woman you want by your side. Machiavelli said it's better to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, and in relationships, that means one thing. You must be willing to make her uncomfortable in the name of your standards. If she crosses a boundary, you call it out immediately. If she disrespects your time, you withdraw it. If she tests your strength, you show her the door, not because you're cruel, but because you're a man who protects the empire you're building. If you bend once, you'll bend forever, and she knows that. So here's the next commandment. Select a woman whose presence strengthens your discipline, not weakens it. A woman who encourages your laziness, who tempts you to skip the gym, who laughs when you say no to distractions. She's setting you up for failure. She might call it love, but it's treason, because a real woman, a beneficial woman, is your ally in discipline. She sharpens you. She challenges you to rise higher. She holds you to your word. She doesn't beg you to stay soft. She dares you to stay sharp. Now, let me say something to the man who feels trapped. To the man who's already made the wrong choice and is thinking, but I've already chosen wrong. It's not too late, but it will cost you everything you've built around that mistake. Your pride, your time, maybe even your money. But ask yourself this, what's more expensive? Leaving now or dying slowly for the next 20 years? Make no mistake, the wrong woman will drain you until there's nothing left. And when you're empty, she will leave anyway, because nature has no sympathy for the man who refuses to lead himself. Machiavelli knew this. People respect what they fear losing. If she doesn't fear losing you, it means you've already taught her that you have no spine. But that changes today. You are not here to be a footnote in her story. You're here to build a kingdom, and the kingdom you build will either be strengthened or destroyed by the woman you let into it. The problem with most modern men isn't that they're weak. It's that they've been trained to believe their weakness is compassion, that letting everything slide is tolerance, that enduring disrespect is love. Machiavelli stripped this delusion down to its naked truth. A prince who is not himself wise cannot be wisely advised. And that's what this is all about. If you are weak, you will attract voices that encourage your weakness. You will attract chaos. Now, here's the truth. You are exactly where you deserve to be. Whatever woman you have in your life right now, whether she's a blessing or a curse, you selected her. Maybe it was through carelessness, maybe desperation, maybe boredom, but you made the choice. Until you face that brutal truth and take ownership, you will keep repeating the same cycle. Blaming women, blaming society, blaming bad luck. Enough. Take responsibility. Because Machiavelli's lessons only work for the man who's ready to stop playing the victim. Here's what most men do. They wait for the perfect woman to show up. They do nothing to build their value. They do nothing to sharpen their judgment. They float through life hoping they'll feel when it's right. But feelings are liars. Women have mastered the art of triggering the feelings you crave. Validation, comfort, intimacy. But here's the final law. If you forget everything else, remember this: men judge more by what they see than by what they feel. You have eyes, but do you have insight? Do you have the courage to sit across from a beautiful woman and see through the act? Do you have the strength to walk away when your body screams to stay? Because real men choose based on wisdom, not hunger. Based on alignment, not addiction. Based on long-term strategy, not short-term lust. Test her loyalty in your absence before you trust her in your presence. Any woman can act right when you're around. The true test is who she becomes when you're not. If she's the woman you think she is, she'll prove it. And with that, you're left with a decision. The wrong woman will waste your time. The right woman will build with you. So, make your choice. If this hit you hard, if it woke something up inside of you, don't scroll away. Like this video, share it. Subscribe to this channel for more unapologetic truth. This is a movement, and if you want to help spread the word, support the channel through the link in the description, because this is not just content. This is a war for the future of men. And those who refuse to wake up will be the ones telling stories of what they lost. While you'll be building a life they'll never touch. Make your choice, and make it now.